Welcome to your channel name, where we dive deep into the stories that shaped our world. Today, we're exploring the life and legacy of one of the most iconic figures in history, a man whose words and actions continue to echo through time. A man who dared to dream of a world where people are judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. This is the story of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Born into a world of segregation and inequality, Martin Luther King Jr. rose to become the face of the civil rights movement in America. His journey was not just about fighting for racial equality. It was about challenging the very fabric of injustice and inspiring millions to believe in the power of peace, love, and unity. But who was Martin Luther King Jr. beyond the speeches and the marches? What drove him to risk everything for a cause greater than himself? And how did his vision change the world forever? In this video, we'll take you on a journey through his early life, his rise as a leader, the challenges he faced, and the timeless lessons we can learn from his legacy. Whether you're a history enthusiast or someone looking for inspiration, this story is for you. So, sit back and let's step into the life of a man who changed the course of history. The early years, a foundation of faith and justice. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, into a family deeply rooted in faith and activism. His father, Martin Luther King Sr., was a Baptist minister and a vocal advocate for civil rights, while his mother, Alberta Williams King, instilled in him the values of love and resilience. Growing up in the segregated South, young Martin experienced the harsh realities of racism firsthand, from being forced to attend separate schools to witnessing the daily indignities faced by Black Americans. These early experiences shaped his understanding of injustice. But it wasn't all struggle. King was a gifted student, skipping 2 grades in high school and enrolling at Morehouse College at the age of 15. It was here that he began to question societal norms around him and explore the teachings of great thinkers like Mahatma Gandhi and Henry David Thoreau. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance would later become the cornerstone of King's approach to activism. The calling, from pastor to protester. After earning his doctorate in theology from Boston University, King became the pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. It was here that his journey as a civil rights leader began. In 1955, Rosa Parks, a Black woman, was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white passenger on a Montgomery bus. This act of defiance sparked the Montgomery Bus Boycott, and King was chosen to lead the movement. For 381 days, Black residents of Montgomery walked, carpooled, and organized to protest segregation on public buses. The boycott ended in victory when the Supreme Court ruled that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. This was King's first major triumph, and it catapulted him into the national spotlight. The philosophy of nonviolence, a weapon of love. King's approach to activism was rooted in the belief that love and nonviolence were the most powerful tools for social change. Inspired by Gandhi's success in India, King preached that hate could not drive out hate. Only love could do that. He organized peaceful protests, sit-ins, and marches, often facing violent opposition from segregationists and even arrest. Yet, he remained steadfast in his commitment to nonviolence, believing that moral righteousness would ultimately prevail. One of the most iconic moments of his leadership was the 1963 March on Washington, where he delivered his legendary "I Have a Dream" speech. Standing before 250,000 people at the Lincoln Memorial, King painted a vision of a future where freedom and equality were not just ideals but realities. His words resonated far beyond the crowd, becoming a rallying cry for the civil rights movement. The struggles and sacrifices, the price of leadership. While King's public image was one of strength and hope, his personal life was marked by immense challenges. He faced constant threats to his life. His home was bombed, and he was arrested over 20 times. The FBI, under J. Edgar Hoover, targeted him with surveillance and smear campaigns, attempting to discredit his work. Despite these obstacles, King continued to fight for justice, expanding his focus to include economic inequality and opposition to the Vietnam War. His Beyond Vietnam speech in 1967 was a powerful critique of war and poverty, but also alienated some of his allies. King understood that true justice required addressing all forms of oppression, even if it meant standing alone. The final days, a legacy cut short. On April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee, where he had gone to support striking sanitation workers. His death sent shockwaves across the nation, sparking riots in over 100 cities. But even in death, King's message of hope and unity endured. His legacy inspired countless movements for justice, from South Africa's anti-apartheid struggle to the fight for LGBTQ+ rights. The enduring impact, lessons from MLK's legacy. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life teaches us that change is possible, even in the face of overwhelming odds. His commitment to nonviolence, his unwavering faith, and his ability to inspire others remind us that one person's courage can ignite a movement. Today, as we continue to grapple with issues of racism, inequality, and injustice, King's words and actions serve as a guiding light. And that's the story of Martin Luther King Jr., a man who dared to dream of a better world and dedicated his life to making that dream a reality. His legacy is a testament to the power of courage, compassion, and collective action. But his work is far from finished. As we reflect on his life, let's ask ourselves, what can we do to carry forward his vision? How can we stand up against injustice in our own communities? Whether it's through activism, education, or simply treating others with kindness and respect, each of us has the power to make a difference. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. But it doesn't bend on its own. It bends because of people like you and me who are willing to push it forward." So, let's honor his legacy not just by remembering his words, but by living them. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that matter. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. What part of MLK's story resonated with you the most? And how do you think we can continue his work today? Thank you for watching, and remember, the dream lives on. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep making a difference. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.